20% of the bidding price after materials is a common and competitive markup for subcontractors. Service work, such as electrical upgrades, is generally a consistent and reliable source of income. As a subcontractor, you will not have the same overhead costs, for example insurance, office space, as a general contractor. If the company is successful, there may be opportunities for increased workload and compensation. As a subcontractor, you will not be eligible for employee benefits such as health insurance or paid time off. You may not be paid if the general contractor does not receive payment from the client. You will be responsible for any accidents or damages that occur while performing the work. Being incorporated could provide some liability protection, but it also comes with additional costs and administrative responsibilities. Whether or not it is a good deal depends on individual circumstances and goals. This deal could provide a reasonable starting point for income and experience if new to subcontracting. If you have established your own business, you may want to negotiate a higher markup or request additional benefits, for example, health insurance. The incorporation requirement could provide some protection, but consider the additional costs and complexity if you have concerns about liability. Get quotes from other general contractors to compare the compensation and conditions. If you feel the compensation is fair, you can still negotiate other aspects such as payment terms, liability insurance, and incorporation. Determine if this deal aligns with financial and business objectives. Subcontracting involves a competitive compensation structure where 20% of the bidding price after materials is often considered standard. This arrangement means that after the cost of materials is deducted from the total bid amount, the subcontractor receives 20% of the remaining profit. This model is beneficial as it directly links the subcontractor's earnings to the profitability of each project. Stable work is another significant advantage, particularly in fields like electrical upgrades. These services are consistently in demand, offering a reliable income stream for subcontractors. Unlike project-based jobs that might have long gaps in between, service work provides a steady flow of assignments, ensuring more consistent earnings. A key financial benefit for subcontractors is the low overhead compared to general contractors. Subcontractors typically avoid expenses such as office rentals, extensive insurance policies, and large administrative staff. This reduction in overhead allows them to operate more efficiently and retain a larger portion of their earnings. Growth potential is also a notable aspect of subcontracting. As the company grows, there are more opportunities for increased workload and higher compensation. Successful companies often prefer to allocate more work to reliable subcontractors, leading to a positive cycle of growth and increased income. Despite these advantages, there are several cons to consider. One significant drawback is the lack of benefits. Subcontractors usually do not receive health insurance, paid time off, or retirement plans from the contracting company. These benefits must be secured independently, which can add to personal expenses. The risk of non-payment is another critical issue. Subcontractors are often dependent on the general contractor receiving payment from the client. If the client fails to pay, the subcontractor may not receive their due compensation, leading to financial instability. Liability is also a major concern. Subcontractors are responsible for any accidents or damages that occur during their work. Adequate insurance coverage is essential to mitigate these risks, but it adds to the overall cost of doing business. Incorporation requirements can be both a pro and a con. While incorporating can offer some liability protection by separating personal assets from business liabilities, it also entails additional costs. These include legal fees, registration fees, and ongoing administrative responsibilities such as filing taxes and maintaining corporate records. Evaluating whether a subcontracting deal is good depends on individual circumstances and goals. For those new to subcontracting, this type of deal can be a valuable starting point, providing income and experience. It allows newcomers to learn the ropes, build a portfolio, and establish relationships with contractors. However, for established businesses, a higher markup or additional benefits might be necessary to justify the arrangement. Established subcontractors often have higher operating costs and greater expertise, warranting better compensation. Liability concerns should also influence the decision. Incorporation can offer protection, but it's crucial to weigh the additional costs and complexity against the potential benefits. Consulting with a lawyer is advisable to fully understand the legal implications. To make an informed decision, several recommendations should be followed. Firstly, research is essential. Obtain quotes from multiple general contractors to compare compensation and conditions. This comparison will help determine whether the offer is competitive and fair. Secondly, negotiation is often possible. Even if the initial compensation seems reasonable, there might be room to negotiate other aspects such as payment terms, liability insurance requirements, and incorporation details. Thirdly, consider personal goals. Determine whether the deal aligns with financial and business objectives. Assess the long-term potential and whether it supports overall career aspirations. In conclusion, being a subcontractor has its pros and cons, like competitive compensation where the standard is 20% after materials. Electrical upgrades have consistent and reliable source of income. Also lower overhead as a subcontractor. Growth potential may increase workload and compensation. The cons include not being eligible for employee benefits, the risk of non-payment if the client doesn't pay the general contractor, being responsible for any accidents or damages, and that the incorporation requirement comes with additional cost. For a new subcontractor, this is a reasonable starting point, while someone established may negotiate for a higher markup. Always consider liability, and consulting with a lawyer may be needed. Get quotes from other general contractors to compare compensation and conditions, and determine if this deal aligns with your financial and business objectives. Electrical service work as a subcontractor involves a set of considerations that can significantly impact your financial stability and business growth. Understanding the nuances of these factors is crucial for making informed decisions and ensuring that your subcontracting endeavors are both profitable and sustainable. One of the primary advantages is the competitive compensation. The common benchmark of receiving 20% of the bidding price after materials is deducted provides a direct incentive to enhance efficiency in cost management. This percentage-based model ensures that your earnings are closely tied to the project's profitability, motivating you to deliver high-quality work within budget. Stable work is another key benefit, especially in the realm of electrical upgrades. Unlike project-specific assignments with uncertain timelines, service work offers a continuous stream of tasks. This consistent demand for electrical maintenance and upgrades guarantees a steady income, allowing you to plan your finances with greater predictability. Lower overhead costs are also a significant advantage. As a subcontractor, you avoid the substantial expenses associated with running a full-fledged contracting business. There is no need for office space, extensive administrative staff, or large-scale insurance policies. This streamlined operation allows you to concentrate on your core competencies, reducing financial burdens and maximizing profit margins. Growth potential is an attractive aspect of subcontracting. As the contracting company expands, your opportunities for increased workload and higher compensation also grow. Reliable subcontractors who consistently deliver excellent results are often favored for new projects, creating a cycle of growth and improved earnings. Despite these benefits, it is important to acknowledge the potential drawbacks. The absence of benefits such as health insurance and paid time off is a notable concern. Subcontractors are typically responsible for securing their own health coverage and managing their time off, which can add to their personal expenses and require careful financial planning. The risk of non-payment is a serious consideration. Subcontractors are often dependent on the general contractor receiving payment from the client. If the client fails to pay, your compensation may be delayed or even withheld, potentially causing financial strain. Liability is another critical aspect to address. As a subcontractor, you are accountable for any accidents or damages that occur during your work. Adequate liability insurance is essential to protect yourself from financial losses resulting from unforeseen incidents. However, the cost of this insurance adds to your operating expenses. The incorporation requirement can present both advantages and disadvantages. While incorporating your business can provide liability protection by separating your personal assets from business liabilities, it also entails additional costs and administrative responsibilities. These include legal fees, registration fees, and ongoing requirements for maintaining corporate records and filing taxes. Determining whether a subcontracting deal is favorable ultimately depends on your individual circumstances and goals. If you are new to the field, such an arrangement can serve as a valuable starting point for gaining experience and building a professional network. It provides an opportunity to learn the intricacies of the business and establish a track record of successful projects. However, for established businesses with a proven track record and higher operating costs, negotiating a higher markup or securing additional benefits may be necessary to justify the arrangement. Evaluating liability risks is crucial. Incorporation can offer protection, but it is essential to carefully consider the associated costs and complexities. Consulting with a legal professional can provide clarity and ensure that you are making informed decisions. To make a well-informed decision about the subcontracting deal, several key steps should be taken. First, conduct thorough research by obtaining quotes from multiple general contractors to compare compensation and conditions. This research will help you assess whether the offer is competitive and aligned with industry standards. Second, engage in negotiation to explore the possibility of improving the terms of the deal. Even if the initial compensation seems reasonable, you may be able to negotiate more favorable payment terms, liability insurance requirements, or other aspects of the agreement. Third, carefully consider your personal goals and objectives. Evaluate whether the subcontracting deal aligns with your financial and business aspirations. Consider the long-term potential and whether it supports your overall career trajectory. In conclusion, electrical service work as a subcontractor offers both advantages and disadvantages. By carefully weighing these factors and making informed decisions, you can create a sustainable and profitable subcontracting business.